Wow, thank you so much for sharing. I'm tearing up, and I hope like y'all taking pictures, so I hope it looks crazy. Thank you. So hello, my name is Ryan Myers Johnson, and I am really thankful and humbled and honored to be considered a Brightmoor leader. Thank you to the Fisher Foundation, the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan, and also to Knight Foundation. We supported Sidewalk since the very beginning. Where to start? I guess I want to say, I started Sidewalk Detroit 5 years ago here at Artist Village with John, George, and Alicia and Kevin Cab. Wherever he is. But anyway, what we do is, what the vision is to redefine how people interact with space. I'm a native Detroiter. I, grew up going to Detroit public schools, and Detroit really nurtured my art life. And I found when I left Detroit for school and then to pursue dance as a career that people had a really different perspective on Detroit that I didn't know. So strangely enough, I grew up here. It's a really magical place to me, and not too far from here. And when I came back to Detroit, there was still this really negative narrative, which, persists about walkability, pedestrian life, and about commerce, about our neighborhoods. It just seemed like everyone was throwing Detroit under the bus, basically. And I'm like, how is there a way that I can use my skills as a dancer, as an artist, to redefine how people look at Detroit spaces? And so the initial idea was that we would just do a small event focused on place-based work, which is work that's crafted specifically for the place. Like, we wouldn't use any traditional stages. We would just put artists on the streets and see what they do. And we started off as just a few friends, and with John, George, and Alicia, this place was already uniquely beautiful. And I felt like a lot of people don't know the magic that we have on the northwest side, especially this far. When we first started talking about the festival, people were saying, "That's really far," or "Where is that?" But the first festival was really exciting. It was a huge success, and we've been doing it every year since, just filling the Artist Village, so the interior spaces in the back, as well as Lasser and the community gardens and the Temple of Dreams, with over 100 artists last year. We expanded to think about what are ways that we can bring major art institutions to this community. So last year we were able to host Cranbrook Museum as well as the Museum of Contemporary Art in Detroit, both doing internationally known installations. So that was the first iteration, and the past 2 years, when I was living across the street from Eliza Howell Park in Brightmoor, I got really enamored with the park. For those of you who don't know about Eliza Howell Park, it's just between Finkel and Schoolcraft, right off of Telegraph. It's over 250 acres of largely untouched land. The Rouge River runs through it, and it's one of the most beautiful and serene places that you can visit in Detroit. When I first moved into the little cottage across the street, we saw fox and deer, and this was really interesting that we saw both of these animals in the same day. And as I got to know more people in the Brightmoor community, I learned about all sorts of wild edibles and amazing flora and fauna that are there. So I thought, is there a way that we can again use art to transform how people think about the space? It is loved and cared for by a lot of people in the Brightmoor community, a lot of amazing leaders who were already leading the charge to create pathways through the park, to clean the park, and to advocate for the park. But I'm thinking, is there a way that we can, one, support the work that people are already doing, and two, is there a way that we can make the park more accessible for youth, children, and families particularly? Some of the things that the park lack include, like certain signage and information, and so I thought, is there a way that we can just bring basic amenities as well as artistic interventions to increase the attendance or whatever, to increase attendance at the park? I want to see it full of people, and especially youth. And so we applied for a grant to do research on how can we do better development in the park. So in the past year, we had a series of community meetings and dinners in which we elicited feedback for what people would want to see in the park. And initially I had these ideas that we would do like sculptures, and it would be this just great sculpture park on the west side. It's going to be like the Pratt Institute, and we're just going to have dance, and that's all the things that I wanted to do because that's what we do here with the festival. But quickly at the community dinner, it became evident that people wanted basic things like bathrooms and seating and signage and wayfinding. And so suddenly we were like, wait, we're artists, what are we doing? Back away. But then we thought, no, actually artists have a lot, we have a great opportunity here to think differently about an artist resident program. And so we started developing our community leadership team, which is a 10-person team composed of people who are around the Brightmoor area and other neighborhoods that are close to the park. And so that leadership team, those members are paired together with artists to spearhead these programs and to also work directly on different modes of outreach. So that brings me to the grant. So we've been going full speed ahead on programming for the past 5 years without really thinking any deeply about it, other than these are the passions that we have. But now that we're working to serve community in a different way, I thought we need to get some serious education and some serious training. And this came right on time. We had the privilege of meeting Lisa Hoffman, who is the director of the Alliance of Artist Communities. The Alliance of Artist Communities operates out of Providence, Rhode Island, and is a national service organization focused on capacity building, business developments, and sustainability for artist residency programs. So I met her at grassroots arts organizing conference, and it was great. She came back here to Detroit, and right around the time that she came back, this grant was announced. And so we applied for it. So this weekend, actually, we're bringing in Lisa Hoffman to do a weekend training with the Sidewalk Detroit team and with some of our community leadership team members, with the effort that we would go deeper into what it means to do art curation differently. We want to think differently about the artist residency program. Is there a way that we can really put all of the tools in community members' hands to serve the community and make this park what they want it to be? So thank you for this opportunity to